fortunate person that are able to fulfill all their dreams and fulfill their potentials and start well and end well. Have you met people like that? There are, but not too many, right? Not too many. The last type is the heroic life. You start well and something happens. Your life is disrupted. Okay? You get in trouble because of cancer or because of natural disaster or because something, or because of divorce or something happened to you. Your life is disrupted. Your heart is torn apart. You are devastated. You hit the bottom. Yeah. You thought that your whole world has collapsed on you. You hit rock bottom. But then you bounce back. You become stronger. That's the resilient life. That's the heroic life. Right? So not everybody got from A to D, right? Someone go from A to psh. So now the question is that how do I make sure that you go from here to here, not from here to there, right? That's the question. See that you young people full of promises, right? So 20 years from now, I want to see if it happened to you. You want to still around, right? Or 40 years from now, I want to see what happened to you. So that is the thing that you have to figure out for yourself. What kind of life do you want to live, right? You want to live once. You want to be like this or that. But here is a fundamental question that everybody's answer is called ontological anxiety. See, to be alive is to suffer from existential anxiety, right? You might know about that. The most basic one is this. Should I choose the status quo and security? As a result, feel guilty that I should have done better, but I'm afraid. Feel guilty for not doing your best. Feel guilty for not developing your potential. I also worry about regret because you're afraid to take up challenges you know the one day you regret. Oh, I hate myself. I'm given this opportunity. I pass it up because I'm scared. I have an opportunity to go overseas. I say no. I have an opportunity to marry this person. I say no. Opportunity to get this job. I say no. So if you want to play safe, you walk through life tiptoeing, trying to, afraid of getting in trouble. You live your life in a defensive mode. Just try to avoid trouble. And then you will suffer from guilt and regret. On the other hand, you want to live an authentic life. See, I'm not going to let society tell me how to do, or the church tell me how to do, or my parents tell me to do. I want to discover for myself the kind of life I want to live. It's my life at all, right? You want to be true to your dream, true to your passion, true to your conviction, and then you also suffer from anxiety or fear of failure. Failure of unknown, failure of uncertainty, because you'll be stepping into a new territory. All right? Now, she stepped into my house, not knowing who I am. I'm scared. You take a chance. Good for you. I mean, I know Rob took a chance, right? And Karen took a chance. It takes courage to come to this house. It's scary. You have no idea, I might scare you. I mean, question all your belief, your assumptions. I may shut you out. That's a scary thing, but congratulations, right? You take a brief step. That's what life is all about, right?
Yes.
So if you want to grow or become authentic, you should have to choose to say, I prefer take a chance to change, right? I'm gonna take a chance with life. I'm gonna take some risk. The other thing that we have to be aware of is the great disillusion. The great disillusion is that everybody believes that they know how to make them happy. You know? Everybody believes that they know how they can be happy. Only if I find marry my loved one, and then I'll be happy. And then afterwards, they talk to me. One girl told me, if I knew married like that, I would not have married. She was my sister, right? She said, if I knew marriage was like that, I would not have married. Some people think that if you get a lot of money, win a lottery, you'll be happy. Research has shown that many lottery winners end up worse than they were before.
Yeah.
Because money generates all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
So we do not know.
It's like the Buddhist idea of Maya, illusion.
Illusion. People do not really know what we have. If you have a chance, read the great book Ecclesiastes by Solomon. He tried everything. He said, money, success, work, wine, wealth, everything. He tried everything because the king, right? Then what the conclusion is? Vanity and vanity, always vanity. Everything left makes sense. He comes to the conclusion that without God, all the things in the world did not satisfy his heart. The human heart is full of desires. You must be tiny, it's so tiny. But your desire can swallow the elephant.
True.
That's
true.
The human heart is never satisfied. It's always restless. Always wanting more and more, bigger, better, faster, newer. Right? So that's the human heart, okay? The great illusion that if you have what you only if, but that's a lie, right? Only if. Right? And you say, is that all there is to life? Because nothing really satisfied. So we find out what really satisfied, right? Because this guy, John, and he's still looking for authentic happiness, but the happiness still elude him. And he'll find out certain why happiness still elude him, right? If you look for happiness, you'll never find it. That's the paradox, right? If you look for happiness, you'll never find it. But if you look for a meaningful life, happiness comes to your back door. Right? That's the key. Right? Now, the great deception is same as disillusion. If I'll be satisfied only if, we mentioned that earlier. And also, I don't need God, I don't need other people, I can solve my own problems. I don't need anybody. This American, this can-do attitude, right? Frontier, rugged individualism, right? I can solve all my problems, I don't need anybody. Now the last one is also a dangerous deception. Life is not worth living if it entails suffering. That's how it is. I remember with Franco, I mentioned that to you maybe last time. There's a nurse in the hospital, suffering from cancer. chemotherapy, pain. And he thought lifetime was living. How we die? I'm gonna die. And Franco said, shame on you, right? Shame on you. If you want to take your own life because of pain, you're condemning all other cancer patients to kill themselves too. You're the head nurse, everyone look up to you. But with some pain, the lifetime was living. Maybe your experience with pain give you an opportunity to show the heroic way, right? To show that life you can still have meaning and certain sense of joy even with suffering. You can have meaning and joy no matter what. And that's a challenge, right? We know that many people go through great suffering. They always go back to Apostle Paul. He always say rejoice. Again I say rejoice, right? But he has something that allows him to transcend suffering. So we'll find out how to transcend suffering.